that should be better. So anyway, just what I'm doing here is for my variety gaming stream tonight, I thought I would do some playing around with Fantasy Grounds Unity version, and I was gonna make a campaign for a game that I'm gonna run on stream with a few of my friends in my own D&D campaign world. And so I was just gonna do some stuff on stream with getting it ready in Fantasy Grounds, or like testing things, because I haven't really run a game using it. And I thought I'd just like open up a test campaign and Dungeons and Dragons 5E, just see what I can do with the basic D&D stuff in here, and then I'll probably purchase the player's handbook and probably the monster manual as well, as I think you just get the SRD stuff with the basic version. So let's just take a look and see how it works. Let's put that there. I need a password. While that's loading, I'll talk a little bit about what I hope to do. So I want to probably use a purchased adventure for the first adventure, running them through that, getting used to how Fantasy Grounds works as a virtual tabletop, and then getting a little more familiar with it. I can start entering my D&D world into it. The first game will still be set in my D&D world, but I'll use an existing product to kind of plug in somewhere that seems to fit. And then as I get my maps and other content built into the campaign, we can start exploring some of those other areas. So yeah, the first thing you usually do when you load this up is pick your modules, and it comes with, so the SRD stuff is all these here, and you can just load them all up. For those who aren't aware, the SRD is a basic set of stuff that Wizards of the Coast has released to allow anybody to make content for. So the core rules, some core monsters, core magic items, and some other core data, and then basic stuff for the players and basic stuff for the D&D DM. And so you can just load up all these things, and you have like a basic set of D&D 5th edition rule set with all the automation in Fantasy Grounds. And I usually load up this battle maps. There aren't a lot of free ones in the initial pack, which is both good and bad. Like, I can see why they would just kind of focus on the purchase stuff, but I would expect a little bit more for having paid, you know, the original amount of the ultimate license was like 150, and then the upgrade was another like 75 or something. So I've already paid a whole bunch, and all I have is this basic stuff, but it's not bad. You can definitely play a game with just this stuff. I have my world has its own calendar. It's a 10-day week, and 12 months of 3 10 days, so 30 days in each month. So I can't usually use these kind of calendars, and I don't usually use fumble and critical hit tables. That's from 4th edition anyway. So I've got all this stuff loaded up. All these things are loaded, except those two. The little book whether the player can see it or not. So generally they don't need access to the bestiary or the magic items until you give them something. They just need access to the basic rules for the player and the SRD general data. You know, and you can give them the access to this too if you really want to, but it's good for now. I'm not going to run this yet with anybody, or I might just do a default test. And then I believe you just close that. Yeah, those are all loaded. That's all loaded. Yeah, so if you want the actual DM's guide, which is split into DM stuff and player stuff, and then monster manual for the DM only, player's handbook for both, and then they have a bunch of other modules. They're having a big sale right now, so I might buy a bunch of these things. But really, I don't need any of this stuff to run a basic adventure. So let's go in here and see what we can see. So the first thing I want to look at is, so the two big advantages to using Fantasy Grounds is the maps and tokens and the combat tracker. So I'm just gonna pull out a battle map here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so here's a standard dungeon battle map. This could represent some kind of pyramid, and these are like dungeon walls. And you can basically take, so we'll make a new character. Just make a super quick one. I wonder if they have a randomizer. Well, let's just make a standard fighter here. And that is Fighter 1. No, it doesn't have a pick list for what classes you can take. Okay, and then abilities. So this I've heard that this character creator is not too great, and I can see why. It's not very pretty. That's why I was planning to use D&D Beyond for the character creation, and then import them into Fantasy Grounds. There's an importer. I'm not sure how much stuff it can transfer over, but it should be able to get at least your class and skills and abilities and maybe some inventory. But I'll probably be keeping track of the actual characters in D&D Beyond, and so I can use the built-in Twitch extension that allows you to see the characters live when you're running the game. So is there a way to, yeah, this rolling. That doesn't make sense. Well, yeah, looks like you have to enter everything pretty much manually. Oh, they don't, oh, okay, they have skills. Story notes. I wonder if I can actually load up a default thing with something already built for this. I'll just save this and come back. How do I get out of here? Options. The UI on this, even with the Unity version, is a little bit clunky, but the power it has for like doing customizable stuff, it seems pretty awesome. Okay, how do I get out of? How do I get out of this to pick another one? Do I just close the window? That seems not the best. I'm not gonna lie. Let me take a look at this. Oh, it's a video. Alright, let's see if I can load an existing. Let's just check for updates. You would think they would have a built-in like example campaign already built with a bunch of characters in it that you can just test out. I'm sure I saw something like that before. Okay, it's downloading a bunch of add-ons here. Maybe this will help. But yeah, what I want to be able to do is basically have the characters go from a world map, doing stuff there, and then travel around the world, doing adventures, and then having fantasy grounds for the resolving of combat, and maybe social interactions, so showing where people are, having rooms with people they can talk to, and just having that basic stuff where they can show where they are, but then most of the stuff is done in the actual role-playing. Let's see if I can get... That just brings me to their store. Okay. If they have standard... it's not working. Settings. That's the updater again. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I just exit again. Yeah, your interface needs some work. So the way I'd do it is, I mean, this is fine, I guess, but I would have it so that the main menu is this, and then when you go into something, there's a way to back out to the screen. Maybe there's a hotkey for that or something, but this seems like a program designed by programmers first, and as a programmer, I know I would probably design something just like this. So it is what it is. It's designed to be flexible and not get too much in your way, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more done for you in the first place. Okay, well, I already did this, so I might as well just load my test campaign. Let's do a dark theme. Yeah, I'm just gonna go on my other computer here and see if I can get it loaded up there as well. Oh yeah, I'll need to be installing it there, so I'm just gonna install it over here so I can at least try out what it's like with having a player. I'm just getting my Steam loaded up. On my second machine. Yeah, it's gonna take a few minutes. All right. I think we already have this loaded. Yeah. Being set up. Options. Whisper, manual entry. I think I was going to allow that in case people, the system screws up, they can still just roll regular dice. Target remove on miss. I don't know what that means. Oh, center map, sure. Voice to activate CT. on so I can try out this new feature they have of showing what the player can see. Okay, back to the characters. We still got Bob to finish. Oh, hang on a sec.